everyone, welcome back to Filouraa. In today's video, we are going to learn one of the most important fundamentals of pattern making, that is basic pattern construction. Before we start drafting a garments, it's important to understand the foundation of a pattern making, the basic patterns, also known as basic blocks or slopers. A basic pattern is a close-fitting template developed using a standard body measurements. It contains only essential shaping features such as darts and seam lines without any style details or seam allowances. So there are mainly 5 fundamental flat patterns used in apparel design. That includes front bodies, back bodies, front skirt, back skirt, and a sleeve pattern. Here in this video, to construct the basic pattern, we are going to follow these following steps. The first one is taking the measurements, construction lines, pattern detailing, and at the end, we are going to see drawing of the pattern. Before we begin drafting, here is something important to know. The method you will learn in this tutorial is universal pattern construction format. Once you understand the construction steps, you can draft pattern for any size by simply substituting the required body measurement into the drafting formula. To follow along with this tutorial, make sure you have all your body measurements ready before you start. If you are unsure how to take accurate body measurements, don't worry, I have provided a free measurement guide PDF along with a measurement record sheet in the description below. Download them, take your measurement correctly, fill in the values, and then return to this video to draft your pattern step by step. Now that your measurements are ready, let's begin constructing the basic pattern. To make the construction easier to follow, I have divided it into different sections. The construction details are shown alongside each step. If video is too fast, pause it anytime and complete the construction at your own pace. Today we will draft the basic bodice pattern with a dart, both front bodies and back bodies using a flat pattern method. If you have your measurement ready, let's get started. Here, I will use a guiding template for the pattern construction so that it is easier for you to understand each step clearly. I will divide the drafting into different sections so that you can follow the instruction easily. I will also use different colored construction line to make each construction step easier for you to identify. We will begin with the center front line. Remember, while constructing any pattern, we always start with either the center front or center back line. This line acts as a central axis line of a pattern, helping maintain proper balance and symmetry throughout the drafting process. Now, draw the center front line A to B, that is A to B full length measurement plus 1/8 inch. Draw the line and label the points A to B. This line will serve as the reference line for drawing all the remaining construction lines required to create the pattern. Next, mark A to C, that is across shoulder measurement minus 1/8 inch. Using the guiding template as a reference, you can see that A to C represents the shoulder line. From point C, square down a vertical line measuring 3 inches. Please note that in pattern making, we commonly use the following commands: square up, square down, and square out. Square up means draw a vertical line upward. Square down means draw a vertical line downward. Square out means draw a perpendicular line from the reference point. Next, mark B to D, center front length, and label the point D. Here is a simple calculation. Here, A to B represents full garment length. When you subtract B to D, that is center front length, from the full length, the remaining measurement becomes the neck depth. Since we are constructing a basic pattern, we will draft a basic round neckline. Next, mark B to E bust arc measurement plus 1/4 inch. From point B, square out to the point E, then from point E, square up a vertical line measuring 11 inches. Now this completes the section 1 of our pattern construction. At this stage, you can clearly see the basic construction lines required to draft the pattern. You now have center front line, shoulder line, hem line, side seam line, and neck guideline in the place. Now let's move on to the section 2. First, draw B to G, shoulder slope measurement plus 1/8 inch. To draw this line, measure the shoulder slope measurement and add 1/8 inch. Start from the point B and draw a line towards the vertical line that was squared down from the point C. Where this line intersects the vertical line, mark that point as G. Next, mark G to H bust depth measurement. Measure the required depth from the point G towards B and mark the point as H. This point will represent the bust apex on the pattern. Now, draw G to I shoulder length measurement. This line is drawn in the same manner as B to G. Starting from point G, measure the shoulder length and extend the line until it meets the A to C line and mark that intersection as I. From point I, square down a vertical guideline until it intersects the line passing through the D. Next, mark J to K bust span measurement plus 1/4 inch. From point J, square out a horizontal line to the point K, ensuring that the line passes through the point H. Now, find the midpoint of D to J and label it as L. From point L, square out the line L to M, where L to M is across chest measurement plus 1/4 inch. From point M, draw a vertical guideline by squaring up and squaring down. Finally, mark B to F as a dart placement point. Now let's move on to the section 3. First, mark I to N, that is neck strap measurement plus 1/8 inch. Remember, start measuring from point I and mark the point N on the side seam guideline. Draw this line in the same way as the shoulder slope and shoulder length line. Next, mark N to O side length measurement. Now, from point N, square out 1/8 inches and mark this point as P. Draw O to P side length line, ensuring that O to P is equal to N to O measurement. Now we'll move on to constructing the dart. Now, the dart is the wedge-shaped fold of a fabric that tapers to a point at one end and has a wider at the other. It helps shape the garment so that it fits the natural contours of a human body. The dart consists of two dart legs and one dart point, which are stitched together during a garment construction. To construct the dart on the pattern, we will first mark the dart legs and the dart point. So here at the point F, square down 3 by 16 inch. Next, mark P to Q waist arc measurement plus 1/4 inch minus B to F measurement. Now, draw the first dart leg from K to F. For the second dart leg, start from K, pass through the Q and mark a point where K to R is equal to K to F. Label this point as R. Notice that point K lies exactly at the apex. When drafting a front bodice dart, the dart point should never end at the apex. Instead, it should stop at least 1 inch before the apex to achieve a smooth and natural fit. Using the guideline, we will redraw the dart. Keep both the dart leg in the same position but move the dart point so that it is 1 inch away from the apex. Then redraw these dart legs from the new dart point to F and R. Next, draw a slight curve from B to F and another gentle curve from R to P to shape the waistline. Now, using a French curve, draw the armhole curve. Position the ruler so that it passes through G, M and the squared guideline. Do not extend the armhole curve beyond the squared guideline. Next, draw the neckline by connecting I to D with a smooth curve passing 1/8 inch inside the corner for a neat, clean neckline shape. This completes the drafting of the front bodice pattern. As you can see, we have drafted only half of the front bodice. This is because the pattern is drafted on the fold. To obtain a complete front bodice pattern, you can either trace the pattern onto the folded fabric or unfold the pattern to reveal the full screen. So let me show you the quickly. And there you have it, the complete front bodice pattern with a dart. If you have understood everything up to this point, let's move on to the drafting of back bodice pattern. Just like the front bodice, we will begin with the center back line. Using this as a reference line, we will construct the remaining pattern. Draw A to B, that is full length measurement. Next, mark A to C across shoulder measurement. From point C, square down 3 inches. Now mark B to D center back length. From point D, square out 4 inches. This will serve as the guideline for the back neck depth. Next, mark B to E back arc measurement plus 3/4 inch. From point E, square up a vertical line measuring 11 inches. Now that completes the section 1, let's move on to the section 2. Mark A to F back neck measurement plus 1/8 inch. Next, draw B to G shoulder slope measurement plus 1/8 inch. Mark F to H shoulder length measurement plus ½ inch. This line may extend beyond the shoulder guideline, which is perfectly fine. From the point H, square down until it intersects the line passing through the D, similar to the construction we used in the front bodies to create a front neck. Mark B to I dart placement measurement, B to J waist arc measurement plus 1.5 inches for the dart intake plus 1/4 inch for ease. For petite size, you can reduce this dart intake allowance from 1.5 inch to 1 inch. Next, mark the dart intake at I to K. Find the midpoint between I and K and label it as L. From point J, square down 3/16 inch to mark the point M. Mark M to N side length measurement. To draft a back waist dart, measure L to O, keeping this measurement 1 inch shorter than M to N. Now, draw the dart leg extending 1/8 inch beyond the points I and K. Draw a slight curve from K to M and another gentle curve from B to I. Here, notice that dart leg's extension 1/8 inch beyond the waistline, while the center extends 3/16 inch. This extra extension is intentional. When a dart is stitched and folded using a perfectly straight waistline, it can create a slightly upward bump, making the waistline uneven. To avoid this, we leave a small amount of extra fabric near the dart legs and blend it back into the waistline with a gentle curve. This creates a smooth, balanced waistline after the dart is stitched. Now let's create a shoulder dart. Mark P as the midpoint of F to H. From point P, draw a 3-inch guideline towards point O and mark the end point as Q. You may draw this as a dotted line as it is only a reference line indicating that shoulder line is directed towards the apex. From the point P, square out 1/4 inch and mark the point as R on both the side. Draw the two shoulder dart leg from Q to R, maintaining a 1/8 inch dart intake. Then connect R to F with a slight curve Similarly, connect R to H with another slight curve. Now mark D to S, 1/4 of B to D measurement. From this point S, square out a line to a point T where S to T is across back measurement plus 1/4 inch. Now, using a French curve, draw a back armhole, ensuring that curve passes smoothly through H, T, and N. The armhole should extend exactly at the squared guide. Next, draw the back neckline. Using a French curve, draw a neckline from F, passing through the angle guideline and ending near D. Now, this completes the drafting of back bodice pattern. Just like the front bodice, the back bodice is also drafted on fold. To obtain a complete back pattern, you can either cut it directly on a folded fabric or reflect the drafted half to weave the complete pattern. So let me show that quickly. Now here it is. This completes the back bodice pattern. And at the end, you can write the pattern description, which includes the grain line. Grain line means in which direction this pattern is supposed to cut. And then you can write the name of the component and the cut number. That is how much component is required for the garment construction. And that's it for today's video. Before you begin drafting this pattern professionally, I strongly recommend understanding the fundamentals of pattern making first. Please watch my previous videos to learn the most basics, including the construction line, ruler reading, fractions and decimals, body measurement, and pattern making terminologies. Once you are comfortable with these concepts, the drafting process will become much easier to understand and follow. If you find this video helpful or have any suggestion, please leave your feedback in the comment section. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.